Straight ahead on 12 News, busting business myths.
You're going to work harder for yourself than you ever did for anybody else.
We'll have insight on becoming an entrepreneur from someone who's done it. Then, a silent killer and a demonstration meant to break the silence. But first, the mysterious disappearance of a 13-year-old Maple Grove girl gets new attention nearly 25 years later. 12 News starts right now. Investigators continue to search behind the childhood home of Amy Sue Pagnac.
Investigators have not said what started their search on Sunday morning. This is what Amy looked like when she disappeared back in August of 1989. She was 13 at the time. A digital image shows what she might look like today.
The area of focus is behind the home of Amy's parents in the 9700 block of Hemlock Lane North. Delane Cleveland met with investigators and has the latest on the case.
Mike and Alex, excavation work began over the weekend here at the home of Amy Sue Pagnac's parents. Maple Grove Police, Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies, and the FBI are all searching for clues to help lead them to the girl who's been missing since 1989. In a neighborhood known mostly for its park,
I think it's crazy.
This section of Hemlock Lane in Maple Grove has become the center of attention thanks to the multicolored home situated right next to the tennis court.
It's a 13-year-old girl that's missing, and most of us are parents. And our police department is working hard for Amy to bring Amy home, and we always have and always will.
Maple Grove Captain Keith Trelinden says this slew of activity began Sunday morning at 9 a.m. when police executed a search warrant on the property.
We're using all the resources that we have available at this point, and we're doing a systematic search of the home itself.
Trelinden declined to specify what they were looking for, but he said investigators from several branches of law enforcement will be on site around the clock for most of the week.
We expect to be at the location for probably 5 days. Hopefully we'll be done by Friday, but we'll take as long as it takes to process the house.
It's been nearly 25 years since Amy was last seen at an Osseo gas station. Now the hope is that this search turns up something that will close the chapter on this unsolved mystery.
It means a lot to the community in and of itself, and it means a lot to us too.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Captain Terlinden says if anyone has information that could help them with this case, please call the Maple Grove Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS.
An advocate for missing children is thrilled that there is more activity in the Amy Sue Pagnac case. Carol Watson of Missing Children Minnesota says she doesn't know why police are renewing their investigation. It might even be the recent publicity about the Jacob Wetterling case.
That anything that brings attention to a case may prompt somebody after all these years to come forward and say, you know, I do know something. And, you know, maybe the person that told it to them is dead or whatever. Or, you know, they've had a falling out. Started getting requests for.
Watson points out Amy went missing the same year as Jacob Wetterling and another child, but she says the cases are so different she doubts that there is a connection. What they do have in common, she says, is a lack of witnesses and a lack of evidence.
You know, there's always the presumption that it had to have been some, you know, terrible stranger, you know, moving through on the interstate. Most of these cases, it turns out that it's somebody very close, geographically, often even socially close to the family.
Now, since police technology has improved since 1989, Watson is hopeful that any physical evidence missed then may still be recovered.
A Robbinsdale man is accused of leading Crystal police on a high-speed chase Sunday evening. The chase started at Highway 100 and 36th Avenue. The driver kept going for about 11 miles until police used a pit maneuver to get the suspect to spin out near I-94 and Brooklyn Boulevard. No one was injured during the case. Charges are pending against the 34-year-old driver. Police say he was under the influence of alcohol. A family in Plymouth is hoping their story will help prevent accidental drownings.
After a 16-year-old boy died in an apartment swimming pool last month, experts are teaching important lessons in water safety. 12 News reporter Carissa Wyand has more.
Hold on, I'll pull you out. At this Plymouth apartment complex pool, some firefighters aren't playing the role of rescuer, they're playing the role of drowning victim. The water safety demonstration at the Plymouth Square Apartments is part of an effort to prevent future drownings.
The importance of this is to get the kids and the residents of the facility familiar with the tools to use in case there is a problem in the pool.
Drowning is silent.
It's a lesson Emmett Richardson hopes others will take seriously. His 16-year-old son Benedict drowned in this very pool less than a month ago.
Although it is a difficult thing to stay here where my son died, but I think it is also a good thing that will be able to prevent future death so that family cannot be in the same situation that I'm in today.
We have our victims in the water.
The last time Samantha Richardson swam here, she witnessed her older brother drown. Today, she and other kids are being trained on how to spot someone in trouble underwater.
So it's a very silent thing, and if you're not paying attention as a watcher, watching your kids, they can slip under the water without you even knowing it.
I was here. I was sitting right over there. Just in the split of a time, things went horrible.
Kids practiced using a buoy and a rope, learning important information that will hopefully keep them safe.
A lot of people think swimming in a pool inside an apartment building wearing a life jacket is kind of silly, but if you don't know how to swim, you need to be wearing that life jacket.
The Richardson family hopes this training will help save someone else.
I highly appreciate, what the fire department is doing with the training so that what happened cannot happen to the next family.
Clarissa Wyant, 12 News.
The Plymouth Fire Department held 15 water safety demonstrations at apartment complex pools in 2013. They have another 15 scheduled for this year.
Brooklyn Park DFLers held their first ever endorsing convention over the weekend. They put their support behind a candidate for mayor. Joy Marsh Stevens received the DFL party's unanimous endorsement for mayor on Saturday. Her likely challenger would be incumbent Jeff Lundy. Brooklyn Park DFLers also endorsed Reva Chambliss and Rich Gates for city council seats. The filing period for candidates opens tomorrow. Coming up, starting your own business. Some important things to think about when branching out on your own.
And later in sports, Champlin Park scores a big win on the baseball diamond as the Rebels get ready for the section playoffs.
But first, clearing skies. Things dry out and the sun arrives on Tuesday.
According to a recent Gallup poll, a majority of Americans would rather build their own business than work for someone else.
And that's right. It is a dream for many to consider, but it's not an easy road. In this week's Business Matters, we break down some of the myths about being an entrepreneur.
Would you like that as a basket?
When Julie Peterson and her family
Thank you.
opened their 5th Culver's restaurant last December,
I think the best part for me is working on a team.
Julie already knew some of the storms that come with business ownership.
Although it's been a marathon, not a sprint. And there's been some ups and downs and some hurdles with the economy and weather. We're a very weather-sensitive business.
Entrepreneurship is a dream for many Americans, a dream that often includes this myth. Owning a business provides unlimited freedom.
You're going to work harder for yourself than you ever did for anybody else, at least out of the gate. Now, the goal is to build something that's sustainable and can carry on long term.
Mike Welch advises people who are considering a franchise business, and he's clear it's not for everyone. If you take the leap, he says, go into it with eyes wide open.
The fact is, most small businesses fail.
Myth number 2, good ideas become profitable overnight.
We always tell our clients that they should not expect to make $1 out of the business in the first 12 months. And if they do, that's gravy, or that's extra, that's exciting.
You tighten your belts and you learn how to operate differently, and you get through those times, and the times have much improved.
Business ownership is working for Julie Peterson and her family. They've had to adapt and change with times of struggle, but it's still what she wants to do at the end of the day.
I like to think of it as 2 steps forward, 1 step back is still forward.
Statistically, franchise owners are more likely to still be in business 5 years after opening versus independent business owners. Coming up, a Providence Academy student lands one of the nation's highest honors in high school achievement.
But first in sports, it's a great showing for the Wayzata boys track team at the True Teens State Meet. John Jacobson with that and more when we come back. Well, you couldn't ask for better weather at the inaugural Birdtown Half Marathon and 8K on Saturday. More than 200 runners completed the half marathon and nearly 200 finished the 8K. Adam Dome of St. Paul was the top men's finisher in the half, which is 13.1 miles. He did it in a 5-minute, 43-second per mile pace. The top female finisher was Sarah Getty from the state of Washington. Good thing they didn't try that today.
Yeah, boy, it would have been a wet one,
weather
wouldn't it?
for it.
Yeah.
And baseball over the weekend as well, right?
Baseball, you know, we're getting into the postseason already in all these sports.
Wow.
We got, you know, baseball, softball, some tennis, track and field, everything. It's kind of winding up already. The state True Team track and field meet is now in its 27th year. The format of the meet rewards team depth. Both Wayzata and Hopkins qualified for the 9-team state Class 3A boys meet at Stillwater High School. This is the finish for the 4x100-meter relay. Wayzata edges Hopkins for the win. The Trojans quartet, anchored by Derek Wadnick, takes first in 42.73 seconds. The Royals place second. Most of the races had 3 heats. Michael Smith of Wayzata was the runaway winner in the 400. He wins his heat and is the overall winner with a time of 48.51 seconds. His twin brother James places first in his heat. James finished second to Michael in the event, his time 50.42 seconds. In the 200-meter dash, left of your screen in the black in Hopkins' Shaheed Hickman. He closes strong, but he can't catch Michael Smith. Smith wins in 21.92 seconds. Hickman did win the 100. In the 3,200-meter run, ignore the lapped runners. In gold there is Connor Olson of Wayzata, winning the 2-mile in the time of 9 minutes, 21.07 seconds. Joe Klecker of Hopkins is next. He comes in 6 seconds back. Klecker was also a second-place finisher in the 1,600. Here are the final team results. Wayzata's boys repeat as Class 3A champions with 946.5 team points, well ahead of runner-up Mounds View. Rosemont, Stillwater, and Hopkins round off the top 5. No local girls teams qualified for state in Class 3A. Tutino Grace's boys won the Class 2A True Team meet for the 4th straight season. Mankato East finishes second, with Sartell St. Stephen and Wilmer tying for third. The Tutino Grace girls finished 7th in Class AA. It's one they circle on the schedule every year. District rivals Armstrong and Cooper met up under the lights in softball at Robbinsdale Spangers Park. Armstrong gets on the board early, and Lexi Ripka blasting a 2-run homer in the top of the first. It's the start of a good offensive night for the Falcons. In the second inning, Alyssa Eggstead drops a hit just over shortstop Tamara Hicks. Maddie Erickson scores for a 3-0 lead. The Falcons add another in the inning to lead 4-0 after 2. In the third, they strike again. Nikki Keir delivers a hit to bring Ripka home for a 5-0 Armstrong lead. They score 2 runs in each of the first 3 innings to go up 6-0. Cooper gets on the board in the 4th. Judy Bruner smacks one to the fence in center. Tori Adams scores on the double for Bruner. But it's mostly Armstrong's night. Paige Kopka delivers an RBI single in the 5th. And senior Caitlin Walksmooth pitches Armstrong to the win. 8-3 Falcons is the final. The regular season in prep baseball winds down this week. Champlin Park could be a tough team to beat in the section playoffs. Rebels taking on Elk River, and Trevor Kaminsky on the mound for the Rebels. The senior fans, Jordan Holm of Elk River, to end the first inning when it turned out to be a big day for the right-hander. Bottom of the second inning, Champlin Park's Daniel Kielb singles to left field. Tim Munn scores on the play. Kielb ends up on second base. It's a 3-run inning, and the Rebels lead 3-1. Twice in the game, Champlin Park executed double steals to score runs, including here in the third. Eric Pearson beating the throw home. 5-1 Rebels through 3 innings. In the 4th, Champlin Park gets another. Kielb with a hit over the left fielder's head. Cal McElroy scores, and it's 6-1. That's more than enough run support for Kaminsky, who throws a complete game 1-hitter, allowing just an unearned run and striking out 14 in 7 innings. Rebels win 7-1 as Kaminsky kept the Elks off stride all day.
They had a lot of lefties in their lineup, and with my 2-seam running away from them and my changeup running away, I was able to locate those and I was able to spot those, and Smitty, our catcher, worked really hard back there.
We started off a little slow towards the start of the season, but the last few games we really been able to kick it in gear. We've been seeing the ball really well. Definitely have some confidence going into the sections.
That's it for sports. A lot of rainouts in section softball on Monday. All those tournament games pushed back one day.
All right.
We hope just one day.
I think so. I think we're in the clear.
Thank you. Well, coming up, high marks for both a teacher and a student.
That includes a Providence student who's deserving of a trip to the White House. We'll be right back. A teacher at Cooper High School has earned top marks. Brooke Schaefer has been named Robbinsdale Area Schools Teacher of the Year. Schaefer has been teaching physical education and college readiness courses for the past 11 years. She also recently received a Teacher of Excellence award from the nonprofit group Best Prep, which helps teach students business and career skills. That award is only given to the top 2% of teachers across the state. It is one of the nation's highest honors for high school students.
And 2 local students were recently named Presidential Scholars. Patrick Bueller from Providence Academy is one of 141 students chosen for the prestigious award. Bueller's a straight A student. He's also on the debate and math teams, and he is a member of the Student Council. When he's not hitting the books, he enjoys sailing.
I was greatly honored. Providence has prepared me well for that, and they've helped me along the way. I love to learn. I think it's really cool to encounter different ideas and try to figure things out for myself.
Zoe Tu from Wayzata High School was also named a Presidential Scholar, and both students will head to Washington in June to pick up their awards. Students are picked based on their academic success, artistic excellence, essays, community service, and other leadership skills. So the award doesn't come via UPS. They go to Washington to pick it up.
Doesn't get much higher than that.
Pretty good deal. That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Community Corner is coming up next.